After watching this copy and paste version of one of my all-time favorite animated films, I'd say this is the best fan-made film I'd ever seen. But this isn't a fan-made film. This is a multi-million dollar project done by the original director, so I'd expect a little more than just a group of actors playing dress-up. Let's get into it. How to Train Your Dragon follows the character of Hiccup, a Viking who is constantly failing at finding his place within his clan, and it leads him to an unexpected and forbidden friendship with a dragon called Toothless. Now, I'd be a hypocrite if I said I didn't enjoy this film, as it's almost line for line and shot for shot with the original, but as it has gone through the live action converter, I have a couple of things to say. Now, this film is a heartwarming action thrill ride with plenty of nostalgia for someone who really loved the original, but unfortunately, that's where my love stops. Let's start with one of the biggest shifts, the humor. In the animated version, the comedy is quick, quirky, and fast, and it relies on a lot of the exaggerated expressions and timing. Think a little bit about Hiccup's awkward sarcasm or Rough Nut and Tough Nut's expert rivalry. But in live action, this lands about as well as fish legs on his Gronkel. Without those crucial elements, a lot of the comedy in this film unfortunately falls quite flat on its face, with the whole film feeling like a big cosplay contest with really good lighting. Don't get me wrong, the colourful and oversized set design really helps to drive home the idea that Hiccup's bland and small stature really puts him out of place with his community and his world. Although it's clear that a lot of these film directors and producers wanted to keep intact the original as much as possible, I think they forgot that they needed to adapt to this new live action format. Now, the director has had plenty of success with the How to Train Your Dragon franchise and even Disney's Stitch, but I wonder whether it would have been beneficial to have a secondary writer or director on set to really drive them through this transitional fog. Next up, the creativity. Now, the original had bold, colorful, visual storytelling that really drove home the message that they were trying to get across. Berk was a vibrant, stylized, dangerous world that really sucked the audience in, and all of the external dragons were almost like these flying personalities that would subsequently and inevitably come together with the adjoining cast. In contrast, the live action version of its world feels very grounded, aka, it never makes it off the ground. Look, by no means am I saying that the dragons and the world that they've created doesn't look visually impressive and photorealistic. It takes a lot of time and skill to develop those things. But How to Train Your Dragon wasn't praised on its realism, it was praised on its style. It feels like the producers focused too much on what amazing scale textures they could have or how real a tree looked than actually making a great collective film. That said, the standout element for me was Toothless. Yet again, he absolutely steals the show. This character has always emanated a spark within audience members, and it all comes down to one element: his expressiveness. Where the rest of the dragons are based off some National Geographic program, Toothless has major expressiveness in his eyes, in his ears, in the way that he laughs or moves his wings. It's honed in on the fact that audience members need mass expressiveness to communicate what the thoughts and feelings are of a voiceless character. It was a joy to see Hiccup and Toothless bond, whether it was a sarcastic side eye from Toothless or a gummy grin. I have to commend everyone who worked on the animation and the creation of Toothless, because it's clear that they poured all of their love into that one character design and unfortunately forgot about the rest. Now, here's where it gets a little bit tricky because I absolutely love the story of this film. It's very heartwarming and I think it's a fantastic work of creative thinking. But like I said at the beginning of this video, the entire film looks fan-made. The CGI, even the costumes designs, they're all exaggerated because it's from an animated film. And it looks very polished. But again, I can't see why they didn't use that adaptation in the other elements like the humor or the visualization. Whether it's the one-to-one dialogue or the costume designs or just the way the characters act, it doesn't feel like they're adding anything new to this new live action combination, which begs the question, why even make the film when the original is so good? You can tell that the filmmakers poured all of their love, effort, blood, sweat, and tears into this film, but there's a difference between loving something and elevating it. And unfortunately, this feels like it's mimicking a great film rather than reimagining it. Okay, let's give credit where credit is due. There are still parts of this film that do translate very well. The story beats are solid. The story arc of a boy and his dragon, the father-son tension, push and pull relationship, these all still resonate with viewers very well, even in live action. And the music is still the top highlight of these films. Now, this is something that they chose to adapt, and John Powell's score still holds this great power over scenes like the first flight. If you're coming back to the franchise with high hopes, you're still going to feel nostalgia, but if this is your first step into this universe, you're still going to feel something. So here's the big question. Was this film worth making? Probably not. Is it worth watching? Most definitely. Does it ruin the franchise? Not at all. Especially as they have announced that they have future live action films coming. So hopefully they can correct the downfalls that they had in this attempt. The animated version is still the pinnacle way to watch the How to Train Your Dragon film. It's more creative, it is more humorous, it has more heart. Although the live action version definitely has its moments, especially for newcomers, even if there's very little new to warrant this new creation. So what do you think? Did the new live action How to Train Your Dragon win you over, or did it fail to take off? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, or just let me know what your favorite part of the film was. Like and subscribe, and remember, this doesn't happen without you.